a tutorial of how to do some basic things in Maya to get people able to just move around and learn how to use the interface. So this will help with some of my future tutorials just to get you started. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is this grid is what you draw on. Now I'm going to move the grid around by holding Alt on my keyboard and then using the left click on my mouse to just drag around so I can look at this grid any way I want. Okay. You also notice that this little thing in the corner here will move around with your grid to tell you which way you're facing. So since we're doing 3D modeling, we have 3 axes, the X, Y, and Z. Okay. Alright, so right now this little tab up here says that I'm in rendering. To draw, I want to be in polygons. Alright? And these tabs up here are good for all sorts of different things, but right now we're going to do polygons because we're going to draw a basic polygon. Okay. So these are the shapes that we're going to work with, and we are going to start with a cube. So you can just click on the cube, and I'm going to just move my grid around like this. And you're just going to draw right on the grid. So click and then drag, and that's going to be the outline for our cube. Now it's already telling you that if you want to add height, just drag up, so let's do that. Now our cube has some height, so let's look at our cube. Okay, so now we're going to press 6 on the keyboard, and now our cube is all shaded in. It actually looks like a cube now, not just an outline. Alright, now right now we're in object mode. See the green lines? That's telling us we're in object mode. Now we can switch to different modes, so you're going to right click and see how we're in object mode, stays the same. Now we can do edge, vertex, face, or any of these other ones, but we're just going to deal with these 3 right now. Okay, so let's click on face. So what I'm doing is I have right clicked my mouse, and the line I've just pulled towards face, I'm still holding the right click down, and now that face is highlighted, I'm just going to let go. Okay, and now you can see what face kind of means. I can select the different faces of my cube. See? If you want to select more than one, you can do Control, or actually Shift. Control doesn't do that. Okay, so you click on one, hold down Shift, click the other ones that you want to select. So you can just select some, or you can select one. If you want to quickly select all of them, you can just drag, see a little dotted box, and that will select everything. You gotta be careful with that sometimes though, and we'll see. Okay. So now that we know what faces is, let's try to do edges. So I'm going to right click again, and let's do edge. Now that face is still clicked. Alright, so now you can see I can't click the faces anymore, but the edges are lighting up. So let's click some of those. And let's shift and click. So now you can see you can select by clicking the edges. And let's do vertices. This is very useful too. Now you can see, if let's zoom in. Alright, and if you want to pan down, you hold Alt again and click the mouse wheel, and see the 4 corners pops up, and you can move it around like this. Okay, so let's just get a good view right there. And also if you press F, it kind of centers your cube, or whatever you're working with. Now see this little dot right here? This is a vertex. Zoom out some more. I'm just scrolling with my mouse wheel in and out. Okay. Now we can see that we can select different points. And you can do the same thing, just shift and select. Pretty simple. Okay. So our cube hasn't really done much, so let's do some things with it. First, let's switch back to object mode. Now I can select the whole cube pretty easily. And let's move it around. We don't like where it is, let's put it in a different position. Now you can see over here we got some things that we can use. We can move, rotate, or scale. Now we want to move this cube. So now if you click on move, you can see that you got these arrows popping out, and we rotate around, they still kind of stay there. Okay, so there you can pick whatever arrow you want, whichever way you want to move this cube. And see this box in the middle, you can grab this and move it around too. So now we know how to move our cube. Let's put it down on the grid there. Now let's say we want it in a different like rotation. We want it kind of angled. So let's click on our cube and do rotate. Now this sphere pops up and you see you can pick any direction you want to rotate it. So let's just make it a little funky. There we go. We've rotated our cube and you can do this, play around with it. Okay, now let's scale. So we're still in rotate. Let's click to scale and you can kind of, oops. Oh, my bad. Back to perspective. See that in a second. Okay. Okay, so this is our cube, and we're going to scale it. So we're going to kind of stretch it out. So we're going to kind of pull on these guys. You can pull this one too, just to uniformly scale it. Now we're changing the shape of our cube. You want to look at it from all angles, because you might, oh, look, and it looks like this from another angle. You turn it around, and it looks different than you think. Okay. So now we have a cube. Ta-da! Alright, now earlier when I had, I accidentally pressed the button, when I did that, I had hit the space bar. So why don't you do that, hit the space bar. And this switches to your 4 basic views. You get the top, and if you hit the space bar again, now that I've clicked in the top, I can go to the top view. See? And if we hit 6, we can see a solid cube. So that's the top view. Hit spacebar again to bring you back to the 4 panels. This is the front view. So hit spacebar. Look at our cube. So that's the front view of our cube. Hit spacebar again. And the side view. And see, you click in the frame you want to go to, and then you hit the spacebar. And that's the side view. So for this one, you see, like once you're in the front, top, or side, you can't really move around anymore. See, I'm holding Alt and I'm clicking and it's not letting me. So that's only for perspective view. So let's go back to perspective, which is what we mostly work in. But sometimes you'll need to switch to the other views to try to like figure out where you want specific things to go. Okay, so that's some basic moving stuff. You can click on the next tutorial to find out even more.